Hello, everybody. Welcome to the January 26th Weekly Wire. There are a few updates for this week, starting with the early submission windows open. It will be open until this Friday, January 30th at 11:59 p.m. This is a hard deadline, which means that students will be automatically logged off at 11:59 p.m. So make sure that we're not waiting until the last second to submit just in case something takes a while to load or the internet is slow or something like that. This is not a flexible deadline because judging starts the next day. And so we want to make sure that all the students have the same fair chance to submit, and then the judges are able to access all of their evaluations as soon as they are able to. Also, this week, this testing site is open for proctors to go in and download the student testing tickets and become familiar with the student testing site. It will be open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day. You can also print the student testing tickets the day of testing, which will be February 3rd through the 5th. So next week, students will need to complete the test between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. each day. The Gaylord has asked me to share some information regarding parking. It's going to be important for each advisor to have the name and phone number of bus drivers if you are taking a bus, so that way the students and the chaperones can be aware of the pickup plan. The buses will be staged off of the Aurora Patio / Hall 3 and will call the chaperone as they're arriving on the veranda. Students will wait inside of the convention center where the Aurora Patio is until you are called and the bus comes to pick you up. We then ask that you make a group announcement that your bus is here, and then everyone can load smoothly. So that way everyone is not crowding around the outside part where the buses will pick you up. Parents and personal vehicles will not be able to pick up students on the veranda. All personal vehicles will need to be picked up at the tour lobby. It is very important that personal vehicles use the tour lobby and that buses use the veranda. With that, I will be sending instructions for the veranda and the tour lobby with a map as soon as I have that information, so that way you can share that out with people who are being dropped off or picked up. If you're planning on picking a bus, please respond to my email. That way we can have a general count of the buses and then the Gaylord wants that so they can prepare for that morning. And then I will send out information by the end of the week regarding the parking vouchers for the complimentary bus parking. Up next, the Gaylord is a cashless property. So their cafes, restaurants, and shops do not accept cash. I know a lot of times parents are sending students with cash so that way they can pay for food, but we'll have to figure out something different for the shopping at the Gaylord. However, at the Colorado TSA store, we do accept cash. So that would be the fastest way if you're looking to purchase pins, t-shirts, or any of our other Colorado TSA items. But keep in mind when planning meals that the Gaylord is a cashless property, and then you can figure out accordingly how to coordinate with that with your chapter. Advisors, thank you so much for signing up and setting your preferences for jobs at the state conference. I'll be in touch in the first week of February, if not sooner, with instructions for each of the roles. The vast majority is just event coordination, which is going to be you're the first line of contact for judges on an event if they have questions, as well as checking students in and making sure they're not walking into a room and interrupting the interview, and that the judges are staying on time. So that way all of our events run smoothly and every student gets a chance to compete. I'll be releasing instructions to access the conference app for the end of the week. There's also a web version which has less features, so that downloading the app on your phone will definitely be the way to access the most and get the most out of the conference app. I'm going to push the registration for workshops back to February 4th. That way everyone has a chance to download the app, familiarize yourselves before signing up for workshops, and that registration will be done on the conference app. I will come up with a system for our students who don't have devices, so that way they are able to register for workshops just the same. On a similar note, semifinalist signups and semifinalists will be released via the conference app, as well as on-site prompts for events that have that, such as on-demand video, will be released via the conference app. We will also have a physical method, so that way students who don't have devices can sign up for their slots and get the information that they need as well. So stay tuned for that information to come out closer to the conference. Advisors, Outlaw Dragster registration will stay open until the start of the state conference. If you're on the fence on whether or not you want to do this, go ahead and sign up if you have time to come up with a dragster. Let's really show our students what testing the boundaries of a project can look like. Giant Jenga registration will stay open until Friday, January 30th, at which point we'll close it so that way we have time to make the bracket. And also don't forget, nominate a peer or students nominate your advisor for the Outstanding TSA Advisor Award. That way we can recognize all the hard work that our advisors do. You are able to pre-order conference pins and conference t-shirts. That way when you arrive at the conference, you can just walk up and we'll have your order ready for you at the Colorado TSA store. Finally, shout out to our very own Mr. Biddulph, who was featured on season 2 of TSA Voices. I've put a link to his podcast episode. It is awesome to have an advisor from Colorado recognized for excellence by National TSA. You might have noticed in the conference schedule, there are 2 voting delegate sessions. We're going to assign each voting delegate a session to go to before the conference, and then I'll send out that list ahead of time. That way any event conflicts can be worked out. That way every chapter has a chance to send their representatives to the voting delegates, so that way we can decide who our next state officer team is going to be. As always, you can send any questions to me at admin@coloradotsa.org or chase.gordonier@cccs.edu, or you can call me at 720-858-2528. All right. Thank you, everybody.